Do tell us more about how today's hearings are going.
A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the late afternoon of day 2 of the Fees Commission. And indeed, as you mentioned there, we had a situation where 2 student organizations were unable to present their oral presentations here as they were expected, but then that gave an opportunity to a new party that was only formed last year, that was not initially on the program, but now it was called up because of the space that was available due to these 2 student organizations that did not come through. And this party is called the Shosholoza Progressive Party. And they gave a presentation essentially saying that the problems that the country faces in terms of funding university education are due to weak governance from a government level, and also due to weak management at universities, and also suggesting that the fees must fall movement that we saw last year, that it was actually being pushed by a few radicals. And now with me I've got the president, the deputy president of the party, Dr. Reynold Rousseau. If you can just please talk to us about what makes you say that the fees must fall a movement was influenced by a few radicals?
Well, there is a theory that says a certain faction within the ruling party supported the Fees Must Fall campaign in order to get rid of the Minister of Higher Education. We don't know if that is true or not, but we'd like the Commission to look at that. We support the Fees Must Fall as an organization because we are the leaders of the social democratic revolution. And as part of that revolution, we want to see free education from bottom right up to the top.
Yes, but while we were giving a presentation, you mentioned that currently in this economic climate that South Africa cannot afford free education at this stage. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, it is true that at the moment we cannot afford free tertiary education until such time that we reorganize our economic platform.
All right, and then if you're saying at the moment we can't afford it, so what do we do in the interim? Because we have students that have, given cases that, they would like to be tertiary, but they simply can't afford. So what do we do in the interim?
There is a need to restructure. We are suggesting an extended subsidy to cater for the needy students. Students who cannot pay must go in free of charge. Those who can pay something must be allowed to pay something, and the balance subsidized by the government. But totally free education at this point is not sustainable for this country.
All right, there you have it. That's a new party only formed last year. It's called the Shosholoza Progressive Party. And now if you're wondering why this party is here, it's because, of course, the Fees Commission has, called on all stakeholders, that includes public members, student organizations, and also political parties. So he represents his party, and they are just airing their view on the matter. Of course, that will all be taken into consideration by the Commission, that will then give out an interim report to President Zuma by November this year.
Sipho, 2 student organizations have pulled out of the Fees Commission hearings. Do we know who they are, and what reasons have they given for them dropping the commission? I remember that yesterday the South African Union of Students mentioned some feelings of distrust towards what is currently happening in Pretoria. What has brought this on?
Yes, that is the question, isn't it? That, if the Fees Commission, which of course was established by the President earlier this year, that was in reaction, of course, to Fees Must Fall and the zero fee increment for 2016. But now, if the students who are supposed to be center of it are pulling out, then that begs the question, then is this really a respectable and a valid process if the students are not going to be part of it? Certainly, the South African Union of Students have said that they do not have confidence in this, and the reason that they've said they do not have confidence is because the Commission made it clear that they will not make a pronouncement on whether fees should be increased for 2017 or not. It said that that is a decision that the President and the Education Minister will advise on. That did not sit well with the students because they want an immediate solution, but the Commission says it is looking at long-lasting solution, not the immediate matters. Now, these 2 students' organizations that pulled out today, it was the Pan-African Student Movement, PASMA, and also an organization called the Further Education and Training Student Association, SAFET. So they've also pulled out, but the Commission actually corrected us to say that the second organizations affected did not pull out, but they simply asked to be rescheduled at a later stage when the Commission moves to Kimberley. But PERSMA, as it stands, they simply have pulled out. They did not show up. They did not give a reason as to why. We asked the Commission about around this matter, and they said let's not speculate, because they did not indicate that they pulled out because they're unhappy with it. But certainly there are a group of students that are not happy with the Commission at this stage.
That is our reporter Sipho Stuurman coming to us live from Pretoria.